Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Not too long ago, I took a look at the StarTech USB 3.0 dock, a very interesting device that took a single USB 3.0 port in and then turned it into multiple USB 3.0 ports out, along with HDMI, VGA, DVI, Ethernet, and audio. Pretty much everything you might need if you wanted to dock your laptop. It was a good device, but we had some people who complained saying, "But Padre, I only use Thunderbolt. What am I to do?" Well, first, don't do that. That's annoying. And secondly, StarTech has got you covered. The TB Dock HD PBC is StarTech's Thunderbolt laptop docking station with HDMI, mini DisplayPort, and gigabit Ethernet. That's a mouthful to say and a horrible model number, so I'm going to call it the StarTech ThunderDock. The ThunderDock is a relatively inexpensive way for users to finally unlock the potential of their Thunderbolt ports. While some Thunderbolt devices are relatively inexpensive, they typically lack the ability to be daisy-chained. Other devices may be full-featured, but they're crazy expensive. What StarTech has done with the ThunderDock is to combine some of the most requested devices into a single box and sell it for a relatively low price. The ThunderDock is about the size of a TV remote, at 7.4 inches by 4.9 inches by 2.8 inches wide and just over 14 ounces heavy. It comes with a power brick, power cables for every corner of the planet, Thunderbolt cable, and a detachable weighted base so it can operate with either a horizontal or vertical orientation. With the ThunderDock, one port enters, many ports leave. The rear of the device is decked out with two USB 3.0 ports, two Thunderbolt ports with mini DisplayPort compatibility, an HDMI jack, and gigabit Ethernet. The front of the ThunderDock adds a third USB 3.0 port and audio jack. Using the ThunderDock is simple. Powered up, connect one of the Thunderbolt ports to your properly equipped Mac or Windows PC, then connect USB, HDMI, Ethernet, audio, and additional Thunderbolt peripherals at will. The HDMI port supports a maximum resolution of 1920 by 1080, while the pass-through Thunderbolt/mini DisplayPort can support monitors with resolutions of up to 2560 by 1440. Video quality was smooth with no jitter, skip frames, or system hiccups, even with motion-rich video and USB transfers happening simultaneously. Unlike some USB to display adapters, Thunderbolt-connected video displays, even those running through adapters, have no lag. Seeing the laptop screen alongside either the DisplayPort or HDMI-connected screen shows no discernible lag, even when the video adapter was taxed with multiple streams of HD video. One note of caution. If you're planning on using the Thunderbolt pass-through to connect a natively equipped Thunderbolt monitor, you can display both the Thunderbolt and HDMI outputs simultaneously. However, if you want to use the mini DisplayPort functionality, it's either or. Plugging in an HDMI-enabled display will disable the mini DisplayPort functionality. Beyond the video capabilities, the ThunderDock gives you full-spec 10 gigabit per second Thunderbolt connectivity, as well as 5 gigabit per second USB 3.0. The ThunderDock supports USB-attached SCSI protocol, or UASP, for faster transfers. When we tested transfer rates with Crystal Disk Mark on our Windows box, the scores from a USB 3.0 flash drive connected through the ThunderDock were almost identical to the scores of the same drive directly connected to our test system. Just for giggles, we plugged the same drive into a USB 2.0 port, and, well, let's just say that if you have a system with USB 2.0 and Thunderbolt, you definitely want a Thunderbolt to USB 3.0 adapter. The gigabit Ethernet port worked as promised. There have been reports of glitches in getting both Windows and Mac computers to recognize the Ethernet port, but our test unit was up and running in seconds. In all, the StarTech ThunderDock is an excellent addition to the desk of anyone using a Thunderbolt-equipped notebook. It's fast, relatively low-priced, and nearly bulletproof. The StarTech Thunderbolt laptop docking station is available now with a 2-year warranty. You can find it online for under $200.
Well, there you go. The StarTech is the company StarTech.com, I guess.
StarTech.com, and the model has that really weird name, like TB Dock. So I just call it the ThunderDock. It's the StarTech ThunderDock.
How many PCs have Thunderbolt? I thought this was a Mac-only thing.
Very, very few. In fact, I had to send back the PC I had that had Thunderbolt because it was a review unit.
Right.
So I had to finish the review on Macs. But yeah, there are a few. It does work, and it works fantastically on PCs, but it really is
You
a
have
Mac
to have
peripheral.
a PC enabled.
Yeah.
And it's Thunderbolt 1, not Thunderbolt 2.
Correct. Well, I mean,
I don't know if that makes much of a difference.
no, you will get full 10 gigabits per second transfer on this Thunderbolt bus, and you'll get full 5 gigabit transfer on the USB 3.0 ports. So you're not really going to be transfer limited.
Okay,
right?
good. So pros and cons.
Pros and cons. Well, the pros is the price is right, especially when you consider that this is a Thunderbolt pass-through device, which tend to be way more expensive. $185 to $200. It's a sweet spot. You're not going to find anything else that's this good for that price. The other thing is ports. Lots and lots of ports. All the best. It's 3 USB 3.0 ports, the display port, the Thunderbolt pass-through, the Ethernet, the HDMI. That's all fantastic. On the con side, it's not really a limitation of the dock, it's a limitation of Thunderbolt. You can run 2 displays on this, but it has to be HDMI and a Thunderbolt, a native Thunderbolt display.
That's because it's Thunderbolt 1. Thunderbolt 2 will give you 2 full res displays.
Now, because if you plug in a DisplayPort adapter, which you can, it kills the HDMI port.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing is it's almost not plug and play for some Macs. If you have an older Mac running an older version of OS X, sometimes it has issues with sleep, and sometimes it has issues with the Ethernet port. I didn't find that on any of the machines that I've tested, but I've read plenty of reports from people who say it doesn't always work the first time.
And that may not be a StarTech problem. That may be an Apple problem.
I think it is. I think it's an Apple problem.
So buy, don't buy, try?
This is an absolute buy. I mean,
we actually bought some.
We did. Yeah, so we did buy. We bought many of these. If you are looking for a way to replicate the ports on your MacBook, or even better, if you have an older MacBook that has Thunderbolt but no USB 3.0, absolutely pick one of these up.